what does it mean for you to be really present? What does being present mean to you, in other words? So if we start with, you know, the Alexander work could be defined as practical consciousness or practical awareness applied to the activity, you know, to what it is we're up to, what it is we're doing. So if we think about what, if we all are already present, we're just not completely aware of it, or we're not allowing ourselves to be aware of it, or there's too much going on to be in the absence of all that stuff and just in the presence of our own existence. What might be the most tangible form that we might have to work with? This is a, you know, we won't go around and answer this question, but we're going to see if we can answer it through doing some things, exploring some things together. For me, the Alexander work connects a meditative type of practice, or an awareness type, a consciousness type of practice with the body, brings it back to the body. And I don't know about all for sure, but it's true that in many meditative or meditation traditions, there can be sort of a denial of the body and a desire to transcend the body and overcome the body. And that is not the case in the Alexander technique. We're looking to work with and through the physical. And yet it's not just about the physical. Maybe we'll start with what is present is our body, our physical aspect, likely sitting on a chair. And you're welcome to do this standing if you're tired of sitting. Really up to you. But so you're going to feel the chair under your bum, and you might let yourself swing or sway or rock, whatever you want to call it, just from side to side. Because when there is no movement, there's also no sensation. So if you've ever had the experience of, well, like if you sit cross-legged, say in meditation long enough, there's a point where you don't feel your legs anymore. But even beyond that, if you rest your hand on something and you don't move for a certain amount of time, you won't feel it. So feeling sensation is connected with movement. So if we rock a bit side to side to get connected with our sit bones, we might be able to discern and get intrigued or interested by the quality of the contact on one side and the quality of the contact on the other side. And if we give our mind enough to pay attention to, then in the present, then it also doesn't have time to go off and worry about the future or the past. So tracking several things in our sensation and our environment can be this way. So you can let the rocking continue if you want. You can let it get super small, imperceptible. You can also explore it a wee bit front to back if you want. We can do that together, just a little bit front to back as well. And then once you have the front to back and the side to side, you can just let there be a random flow, which in this case is connecting with your support in a chair, in the situation of sitting. Now we do sit a lot, and maybe this past year more than ever before, in front of Zoom screens and such. So, it might not be the most natural or organic or position that we've evolved to be in, except that it is a position or a situation in which we are often. So might as well understand it and see how we can make it optimal for us. So you're going to just let this random swaying happen at your pace, at your amplitude, however you'd like. And then bring your awareness and see if you can let this continue as you bring your awareness to your feet on the ground. And when I said feet to the ground, did you move your feet? Were your feet not touching the ground? Were they tucked under your chair? Or were they already on the ground? So you might just notice where your feet were and where they are now. So I invite you to bring your feet to rest, both flat on the ground. And as you continue this swaying in yourself from your torso up, just notice if you can perceive an influence on your feet of that movement, and or just what are you noticing? Is your foot really resting on the ground? Is it happy to rest on the ground? Or maybe is it a little hesitant to rest on the ground? Is it pulling up a little bit? Again, no judgment. And if there is judgment, you can be like, oh, okay, there's judgment. So you're just noticing the contact between your bum / sit bones and the chair, and then your contact between your feet in the ground. And without judgment, you're just noticing, is there a welcoming? Are you welcoming towards this support? Are you releasing towards this support? Are you doing a bit of both? Is the support really there for you? Are you trusting it? Now we're exploring these things from a physical perspective, from a kinesthetic, tangible perspective, and yet these are super important life questions. Do you feel you have the support you need in your life? From your environment, from people who are around you, friends, family. Okay, and then now to this duet, this sort of swaying duet, let's add the breath. You've been breathing already this whole time, because otherwise you wouldn't be here. So the breath has been going in and out this whole time without your need to do anything about it. The breath is probably the most present and in the moment thing you can get in your body, available to you right here and now. And this is just to watch the in and the out breath in such a way that you're not changing it at all. And maybe one breath is bigger, and that's fine. Maybe one breath is deeper, and then the next more shallow. Again, no judgment, just. And oftentimes the moment we start to observe the breath, we make it deeper. So let's see if as we come back and again and back and again to the breath, can we resist the temptation to make it be something and just watch it like a witness. So watch ourselves breathe. So the breath brings in this consciousness of our whole middle torso, because it moves our belly, it moves our ribs, chest, back. So we have our support, feet and sit bones, and we're staying in touch with that support through some gentle movement. We have the breath. So we have a trio now. It is really like paying attention to, for those musicians among us, it is really like paying attention to, you know, three lines, three counterpoints, or bass line and two voices, two inner voices. And then maybe we'll come to the upper voice. And that'll be just noticing where your eyes may have, again, if I could somehow deliver this all to you in one instant, that would be the real thing. But of course, like FM Alexander said, it's all at the same time, one after the other, because I can't say it all at the same time, but it's really happening all at the same time. So your eyes, let your eyes, notice if you were tempted to close your eyes, fine, no judgment. Maybe you were tempted to fix your eyes on the screen, on my image, to make sure that you didn't miss what I was saying or doing. Maybe you turned away, but maybe you fixed some point in your space. So let your eyes move around your space now. And think of this movement as being a kind of horizontal sweep in your space. And I have a pretty big space right here, right now, my garden. But look around your space. And just see how far you can actually look, going all the way to see how far you can look behind you. And just notice what movement starts to happen throughout your spine. Mm-hmm. So now there's this, see if the side to side movement is still somewhat happening, but maybe it's coordinating with the looking around. And you might notice your arms sliding on your lap or moving next to you. And as you look, explore going far to look back, and explore going not so far, just sort of sweeping the air right in front of you, as if you were saying no, as if you were nodding or moving your head to say no. And as you think of saying no, just notice where that movement starts. at the top of your spine, or very close to the very top of your spine, but certainly probably higher than you think. So just looking around, noticing where, continue to notice the whole movement, but see if you can notice where it begins, where the beginning of it is. And it could help to momentarily let your eyelids close if that feels more easy to sense inward. And then see, once you sense it inwards with eyelids closed, then open your eyes again and see if you can still sense it. This is evoking the aspect of presence and activity, or mindfulness and activity. I mean, if Alexander was compared to meditation, I would say that it's, it's like you're meditating through whatever activities you're doing. You're in the meditative state, yet you're active. Okay, so once you've located where this no initiates, then in your mind's eye, in your mind's sensory eye, in your mind sense, go up just a little notch, a little floor, go up and find there a little rocking chair, a dollhouse size rocking chair, right between the middle of my headphones, right between your ears, right above where you felt the no, there's a yes. There's a yes that starts. Say yes to that yes, and you can let it be small at first, and then you can let it be bigger, to look down at your toes from high up, or look up at the ceiling or the sky from high up. And notice how this movement also affects all of you. Have you stopped moving any part of you? If you have, no worry. You just notice that and you can let it move again. So now, just like we combined, the side to side rocking with the front in a kind of a fluid pattern, now see if you might combine the yes and the no, and then yes a little bit higher, into letting your eyes move freely around the room, letting your head follow, letting your neck and spine follow. And then here comes maybe the most important bit. It's the attention. Our eyes, but also our nose and our ears, our senses, bring our attention to something. So, in a way, the best place to practice some of this is when there's a lot going on, when there's a lot of movement going on around you, because you can let your attention kind of bounce, to things. So a space in nature is pretty good, because there's like little insects flying around, and or a bird caught my eye, or a sound. So we have this wonderful tool that is our physical organism that is connected with support. We are never, unless we're, in an airplane, and then we have a fake kind of support in the airplane, but otherwise we're always connected with the earth. We're tethered to the earth. And our design is to be connected and move away from the earth. So, whoever was saying there are no wrong answers to presence, I can't quite remember who, but that was a great answer, because there are no wrong answers and there are all many right ones. And so this is one way. Now it took us a little while. The thing is, if you practice one of your ways, this way or another one, enough, you'll get better and quicker at it. So that when you notice you've gone off in the past, or worried about the future, or just distracted, you might be able to, kind of like index cards, like you've memorized, flip through a couple things and, oh, yeah, I'm just distracted. Okay, and let me find my sit bones, or let me find this little rocking chair, dollhouse size rocking chair up here. Or let me notice my breathing. And be in relationship with that. As you are in relationship with that, you will be in relationship with the present moment. And to me, when I'm successful at really being in relationship with the present moment, then it expands. And then there's this expansion of the attention, so that the present moment includes stretches. It includes the mini moment just before and the mini moment just after. And I can think of expanding the present moment that way. And then it bleeds into the next present moment. And so you go on from present moments to present moments. Just like the breath, you know, if the mechanism, this internal organization or central coordination system was not working at all, we wouldn't be alive. So it's always working, and it's always there, and it's always working. It's just a little more compromised than it could be, or than is optimal. And when we are really present, and when our actions and our thoughts and our sensations and all that is coordinated, meaning all that is going in the same direction, we're happy to be doing what we're doing, and we're not feeling rushed doing it or pressure, and we're just up here in the world and aware and connected, then those are the conditions in which there is no tension that is coursing through the body, or just the right amount of tension that is there needed for our support and our uprightness on the planet. So it's really already always there. You're just interfering with it. And so it's just letting go of that interference. So it's so simple, and yet it takes the time it takes, because it's not always easy to realize that we're holding on.